She had the voice. She had the dream. She had everything it takes to be a star. Everything except time. Because while her friends were chasing their dreams, she was working double shifts to keep her grandmother alive. Her name is Maya, and this is the day Beyoncé saw her and refused to let her dream die. Maya Rodriguez was 23 years old. She had grown up singing in her grandmother's kitchen, performing at church talent shows, and dreaming of the day she'd stand on a real stage. Everyone who heard her said the same thing. That girl's got something special. Her voice was rich, powerful, and effortless. She could hit notes that made people stop mid-conversation. She could make a room go silent with just one verse. When she was 17, she had been accepted into a prestigious music conservatory in New York, full scholarship. Her teachers called it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Her friends threw her a going-away party, but 2 weeks before she was supposed to leave, her grandmother, the woman who had raised her since she was 6, was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, and just like that, everything changed. Maya made a choice. She turned down the scholarship, she stayed in Houston, and she became her grandmother's full-time caregiver. At first, she told herself it was temporary, just until her grandmother got better, just until the treatments worked, just until things stabilized. But cancer doesn't care about plans. The treatments were brutal. The medical bills piled up faster than Maya could count. Insurance covered some of it, but not nearly enough. Copays, medications, specialist appointments, transportation, it never stopped. So Maya worked. She took a job at a call center during the day. She waited tables at a diner 3 nights a week. On weekends, she picked up cleaning shifts at a local hotel. She stopped singing. There was no time, no energy, no space left in her life for dreams. Her friends from high school moved on. Some went to college. Some started careers. Some got married. They'd call occasionally, asking how she was doing, but the calls became less frequent over time. Maya didn't blame them. She had become someone different, someone whose life revolved around pill schedules, doctor's appointments, and paychecks that disappeared the moment they arrived. But every once in a while, late at night, when her grandmother was asleep and the house was quiet, Maya would sit in her car and sing, just to herself, just to remember what it felt like. She never told anyone. It felt too painful, like mourning a part of herself that had died. Beyoncé was in Houston for her On the Run 2 tour with Jay-Z. The concert was sold out. Over 60,000 fans packed into NRG Stadium. Maya knew about the concert. Of course she did. She had been a Beyoncé fan since she was a kid. She used to perform Halo at every talent show. She had posters on her bedroom wall. She knew every lyric to every song, but there was no way she could afford a ticket. Even the cheapest seats were over $200, and that money was needed for her grandmother's next round of medication. Still, Maya had the night off from her diner shift, a rare gift. Her grandmother was having a good day and insisted Maya take a break. Go out, her grandmother said. See your friends. Be young for one night. But Maya didn't have anywhere to go. Her friends were all at the concert, so she did something that felt a little silly, a little desperate, but also strangely comforting. She drove to the stadium. She didn't have a ticket. She wasn't trying to sneak in. She just wanted to be close, to hear the music from the parking lot, to feel like she was part of something bigger than hospital waiting rooms and overdue bills. She parked her old Honda Civic on a side street near the venue. She could hear the bass thumping from inside the stadium. She could see the lights flashing above the roof, and she sat there, alone, listening. Tears rolled down her face. She wasn't sure why she was crying. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe it was grief for the life she'd lost. Maybe it was just the weight of everything finally catching up to her. She whispered to herself, "I was supposed to be someone." And that's when it happened. Beyoncé's black SUV rolled slowly through the restricted access road behind the venue. She was scheduled to go on stage in 45 minutes. Her security team was doing their final sweep. Her manager was on the phone confirming stage cues. But Beyoncé wasn't looking at her phone. She wasn't reviewing her set list. She was looking out the window, and that's when she saw her. A young woman sitting alone in an old car parked on the side of the road. Her head was down. Her shoulders were shaking. Beyoncé leaned forward. "Wait!" Stop the car. The driver glanced in the rearview mirror, confused. "Ms. Knowles, we're on a tight schedule." "Stop the car," Beyoncé repeated more firmly. The SUV pulled over. She had the voice. She had the dream. She had everything it takes to be a star. Everything except time. Because while her friends were chasing their dreams, she was working double shifts to keep her grandmother alive. Her name is Maya, and this is the day Beyoncé saw her and refused to let her dream die. Maya Rodriguez was 23 years old. She had grown up singing in her grandmother's kitchen, performing at church talent shows, and dreaming of the day she'd stand on a real stage. Everyone who heard her said the same thing. That girl's got something special. Her voice was rich, powerful, and effortless. She could hit notes that made people stop mid-conversation. She could make a room go silent with just one verse. When she was 17, she had been accepted into a prestigious music conservatory in New York. Full scholarship. Her teachers called it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Her friends threw her a going-away party. But 2 weeks before she was supposed to leave, her grandmother, the woman who had raised her since she was 6, was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer. And just like that, everything changed. Maya made a choice. She turned down the scholarship, she stayed in Houston, and she became her grandmother's full-time caregiver. At first, she told herself it was temporary, just until her grandmother got better, just until the treatments worked, just until things stabilized. But cancer doesn't care about plans. The treatments were brutal. The medical bills piled up faster than Maya could count. Insurance covered some of it, but not nearly enough. Co-pays, medications, specialist appointments, transportation, it never stopped. So Maya worked. She took a job at a call center during the day. She waited tables at a diner 3 nights a week. On weekends, she picked up cleaning shifts at a local hotel. Beyoncé's security team immediately went on alert. Is there a problem? Beyoncé didn't answer. She was already opening the door. I'll be right back, she said. Her team exchanged nervous glances but didn't stop her. They had learned over the years that when Beyoncé made a decision, there was no point in arguing. Beyoncé walked across the empty street toward the car. She knocked gently on the window. Maya jumped. Her eyes went wide. She quickly wiped her tears and rolled down the window, confused and slightly panicked. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to... Maya stammered. Beyoncé smiled gently. It's okay. I just wanted to make sure you were all right. Maya stared at her. For a moment, she couldn't process what was happening. This couldn't be real. Beyoncé. Beyoncé was standing next to her car. I'm fine, Maya said weakly. Beyoncé tilted her head. You don't look fine. There was no judgment in her voice, just genuine concern. Maya didn't know what to say. She felt ridiculous, embarrassed, like a child caught doing something wrong. I wanted to hear the music, Maya said quietly. I know that sounds stupid. It doesn't sound stupid at all, Beyoncé said. She glanced back at the stadium, then back at Maya. Why aren't you inside? Maya let out a sad laugh. I can't afford a ticket. Beyoncé studied her for a moment. There was something in Maya's eyes, something beyond just sadness. There was exhaustion, there was loss, there was a dream that had been buried alive. What's your name? Beyoncé asked. Maya. Maya. Beyoncé repeated it like she was committing it to memory. Can I ask you something? Do you sing? Maya froze. How could she possibly know that? I used to, Maya said, but not anymore? Maya shook her head. Life got in the way. Beyoncé nodded slowly. She understood that answer more than Maya could ever know. Stay here, Beyoncé said. Don't leave. I'll be back. And before Maya could respond, Beyoncé walked back to her SUV and disappeared into the night. Maya sat frozen in her car. Her hands were shaking. Her mind was racing. Did that really just happen? Did Beyoncé really just talk to her? She waited. She didn't know what else to do. 20 minutes passed. Then 30. Maya started to think maybe she had imagined the whole thing. Maybe it was exhaustion playing tricks on her mind. But then a woman in a staff uniform appeared at her window. She was holding a lanyard with a VIP pass. Maya Rodriguez, the woman asked. Maya nodded, unable to speak. Come with me, please. Maya was escorted through a back entrance, past security checkpoints, through winding hallways filled with crew members and equipment. She had no idea where she was going, and then she was led into a private dressing room. Beyoncé was standing there, still in her pre-show outfit, talking to someone on her team. When she saw Maya, she smiled. There you are, Beyoncé said warmly. I was worried you'd left. Maya couldn't form words. She just stood there, overwhelmed. Beyoncé gestured for her team to give them privacy. The room emptied quickly. Sit down, Beyoncé said gently. Maya sat. Her heart was pounding so hard she thought it might explode. Beyoncé sat across from her. I want you to tell me your story, the real one, why you were sitting in that car tonight. And so Maya told her everything. She told her about her grandmother, about the cancer, about the scholarship she turned down, about the job she worked, about the dreams she buried. She told her about the nights she cried in her car, about the guilt she felt for resenting her situation, about how she loved her grandmother more than anything but sometimes felt like she was drowning. Beyoncé listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't check her phone. She didn't rush. When Maya finished, there were tears streaming down her face. Beyoncé reached over and took her hand. "You didn't lose your dream," Beyoncé said quietly. "You put it on hold to save someone you love. That's not weakness, that's strength." Maya shook her head. "But it's gone. I'm too old now. I missed my chance." "You're 23, Beyoncé said firmly. "Your life isn't over. It hasn't even really started yet." She paused. "How much are your grandmother's medical bills?" Maya blinked, caught off guard. I don't know the exact number. A lot. Tens of thousands." Beyoncé nodded. "I'm going to take care of it." Maya's breath caught. "What?" "All of it," Beyoncé said. "Every bill, every medication, every treatment she needs. You're not gonna worry about that anymore." Maya started sobbing. I can't accept that. That's too much." "You're not accepting anything," Beyoncé said. "I'm giving it. There's a difference." She leaned forward. "And I'm gonna do something else. I'm going to connect you with a vocal coach. A friend of mine, one of the best in the industry. She's gonna work with you for free." Maya couldn't breathe. "And when you're ready," Beyoncé continued, "I'm gonna help you record a demo. We'll get it to the right people. We'll give you the platform you deserve." "Why?" Maya whispered. "Why would you do this for me?" Beyoncé smiled. "Because someone did it for me once. And because I saw something in your eyes tonight. You haven't given up. Not really, you're just tired." She squeezed Maya's hand. "Let me help you carry the weight for a while." What happened over the next 2 years was nothing short of miraculous. True to her word, Beyoncé covered every single one of Maya's grandmother's medical expenses. The bills stopped coming. The stress lifted. Maya's grandmother was able to get the best care available. And for the first time in years, Maya could breathe. She started working with the vocal coach Beyoncé had introduced her to. 3 times a week, she'd drive to a studio in downtown Houston and train. Her voice, which had been dormant for so long, began to wake up. She quit 2 of her 3 jobs. She kept the diner shift because she liked the people there, but everything else fell away. She started writing songs again, songs about loss, about sacrifice, about hope. Her grandmother's health stabilized, the cancer went into remission, and every night her grandmother would sit in the living room and listen to Maya sing, tears of pride rolling down her face. 18 months after that night outside the stadium, Maya recorded her first demo. It featured 4 original songs, all produced by people in Beyoncé's network. The demo was sent to several major labels. Within 2 weeks, Maya had 3 offers. She signed with Parkwood Entertainment, Beyoncé's own label. Her first single, Still Here, was released 6 months later. It was a ballad about resilience, about not giving up even when the world asks you to. It went viral. Within a month, it had over 50 million streams. Maya was invited to perform on late night shows. She was featured in Rolling Stone. She was nominated for a Grammy, and through it all, Beyoncé was there. Not publicly, not for credit, but quietly in the background, cheering her on. 2 years after that night, Maya was invited to open for Beyoncé on a segment of her world tour. She stood backstage wearing a custom gown, her hair and makeup professionally done, staring at the massive stage in front of her. Beyoncé walked up beside her. "You nervous?" Beyoncé asked. Maya laughed, terrified. "Good," Beyoncé said with a smile. "That means it matters." She put her hand on Maya's shoulder. "You remember what I told you that night? Your life hadn't started yet?" Maya nodded. "This is it," Beyoncé said. "This is your beginning." Maya walked onto that stage in front of 40,000 people, and she sang. Her voice filled the arena, strong, clear, unshakable. And when she finished, the crowd roared. Beyoncé stood in the wings watching. She didn't take credit. She didn't post about it. She didn't need the recognition. Because for her, this wasn't about being seen. It was about making sure Maya was. Today, Maya Rodriguez is a rising star in the music industry. She's released 2 albums, she's toured internationally, and she's used her platform to advocate for caregivers and families dealing with cancer. Her grandmother is still in remission. She attends every concert, front row, every time. And Maya never forgets where it all started. In an interview last year, she was asked about Beyoncé. "She didn't just save my career," Maya said, her voice breaking. "She saved my life. She saw me when I was invisible. She believed in me when I had stopped believing in myself." She paused, wiping her eyes. "I will spend the rest of my life trying to be for someone else what she was for me. Because that's what happens when someone refuses to look away, when someone stops their car, when someone asks, 'Are you okay?' One moment, one choice, one glance through a window, and 2 lives changed forever." Who is someone that believed in you when no one else did? Share your story in the comments and tell us where you're watching from. Subscribe to Celebrity Stories for more untold moments that prove kindness changes everything.